Hello everyone and welcome. The Snowman here. Today I've got part 4 of a video series where I look back at all the past FIFA World Cups. Today we've got the 2006 FIFA World Cup. I'm going to be looking at things like the host nation, what happened in the group stage, the knockout stage, look at the awards, Golden Ball, Golden Boot, best goals, best matches. And this is a special event for me because it's the first World Cup I really remember watching live as an 11-year-old. So I'm excited to talk about it. This is my snapshot for the 2006 World Cup. And the host in 06, Germany, became the 4th nation to host a World Cup 2 times. They previously held proceedings at the 1974 tournament as West Germany. And you know the Germans are always a good choice for a football festival. 12 stadiums in 12 different venues, including the brand new Allianz Arena in Munich and Olympiastadion in Berlin. The group stage, these are the 8 groups of 4. It was the host kicking things off with a thrilling opening match. Germany 4, Costa Rica 2 that day in Munich. A couple of long-range golazos by Philipp Lahm and Torsten Frings. The leading scorer of this competition, Miroslav Klose, opened up his goal-scoring account with a brace that day too. Ecuador defeated Poland 2-0 to help the South Americans nab the runner-up spot in Group A. Group B pretty much went chalk. England handled the minnows of the group behind a mouth-watering midfield that featured names like Beckham, Lampard, and Gerrard. They also got a filthy highlight from Joe Cole in a 2-2 tie versus Sweden. Cole was outside of the box, chested the ball, and without letting it drop, fired a volley over the keeper. However, that draw assured the Swedes of a knockout stage berth as well. Probably the strongest group of the 2006 World Cup was Group C. Argentina had an embarrassment of attacking riches with the likes of Hernan Crespo, Carlos Tevez, and a young Leo Messi. The Dutch also had some firepower with Ruud van Nistelrooy and Robin van Persie. And Ivory Coast had a surplus of world-class talent like Didier Drogba and Yaya Toure. In the end, though, the class of the Argentines and Holland shone through, highlighted by a 6-0 shellacking of the Argentines over Serbia and Montenegro, the largest win of this World Cup. No surprises in Group D, as you can see. You could have guessed it would be Portugal and Mexico advancing, the Portuguese defeating the Mexicans 2-1 to claim the top spot. Now, Group E was maybe the most interesting, some pretty even and captivating contests. It began when a Czech team led by Pavel Nedved and Tomas Rosicky hammered the U.S. 3-0. However, the Czechs hurt themselves with a red card versus Ghana before losing their third match to Italy. And speaking of the Italians, they were part of a myriad of memorable moments this World Cup, including Italy versus USA. Daniele Rossi was sent off in the 28th minute for elbowing American striker Brian McBride in the face and gashing it open. McBride needed stitches after that, and De Rossi was suspended by FIFA for the next 4 games, only returning in the final. That was just one of many red cards at this event. More on those statistics in just a bit, but Italy and Ghana survived the group stage. Smooth sailing then for Brazil in Group F. Kaká, Ronaldinho, and Ronaldo all pitched in to make it a perfect 9 points for the Brazilians. Surprisingly, though, Australia, in their first World Cup in 32 years, came back against Japan to score 3 goals late. That's the first and only time the Aussies have ever qualified for the knockout round. Also, major props for Switzerland and their strong defense in Group G. They were the only team to not concede a goal in the group stage, and France looked unimpressive at times, but did enough in their final match against Togo to win 2-0, despite not having their captain Zinedine Zidane due to yellow card suspension. Thierry Henry picking up the slack as the French finished runners-up. And in the final group, Spain couldn't have asked for a more cakewalk draw. They feasted on lesser opponents, crushing Ukraine 4-0 behind goals from David Villa and El Niño Fernando Torres. The Ukrainians recovered, though. Legendary striker Andrei Shevchenko made sure his country advanced to the knockout stage in their first ever World Cup as an independent nation. And here's the knockout round bracket. Some highlights include Argentina surviving against Mexico thanks to an absolute wonder goal by Maxi Rodriguez in extra time. A volley from way outside the box. I think I have to name that the number 1 goal of this entire tournament. Also, England defeated Ecuador behind an iconic free kick from the free kick master David Beckham. Just drilled it from 30-plus yards out. The mighty Italians had a lot of trouble with Australia in the round of 16. Center back Marco Materazzi received a red card in the 50th minute, so Italy down to 10 men for most of the second half, but a somewhat controversial penalty given to Italy late in extra time saw Francesco Totti, the Roma icon, step up and deliver in the 95th minute. Ukraine had their best ever result, reaching the quarterfinals after a nervy penalty shootout win versus Switzerland. The Swiss were the first country in World Cup history to not score a single time in a shootout. And get this, with that result, Switzerland became the first team eliminated and the only team, period, to ever go through a World Cup without conceding a single goal. They finished with 4 goals for and 0 against. All that being said, though, the biggest round of 16 headline was the Battle of Nuremberg, Portugal versus Netherlands, a World Cup record, 16 yellow cards and 4 red cards were handed out this match. 2 players on each team thrown out. Cristiano Ronaldo was intentionally injured. He had to be subbed off in the 33rd minute. There were brawls, melees, headbutts, basically everything. Just one of the most prison rules football games you will ever see. Portugal did win it with a Maniche goal, but the booking statistics of this game and at the 2006 World Cup in general are staggering. You can see an all-time record, over 300 yellows doled out and 28 red cards. 4 of them in this acrimonious match. Heck, we even had a group game where a Croatian player was mistakenly given 3 yellow cards in a single game. So just crazy stuff. And the Battle of Nuremberg, the ultimate football bloodbath. In the quarterfinals, then, we retreated to another chapter in Germany versus Argentina, the most played World Cup match of all time. They've met 7 times, including 3 separate finals. Argentina scored off a corner kick, but in the 80th minute, Miroslav Klose scored the quintessential Klose goal, finishing across to knot the score at 1 apiece. And up until this match, Argentina and Germany were both 3-0 all-time in penalties, the only undefeated of the big-name countries. But Germany became the undisputed penalty kings after keeper Jens Lehmann saved a pair of big strikes. Germany moves on. Speaking of penalties, the English misery continued from spot kicks. They made it 0 for 3 all-time in shootouts at the World Cup when they fell to the Portuguese. France down Brazil 1-0 in that game. Zizou teed up a beautiful curling free kick on a platter to Thierry Henry, who clinically slotted it home. And Italy beat Ukraine, so it was an all-European Final Four. And if I had to pick a best game of this tournament, I would say Germany versus Italy in the semifinals. In my estimation, the 2 best teams, just something about the atmosphere too. In Dortmund, a real stronghold for the Germans. Italy enduring all match, though, with an iron-willed back 5, so tough to break them down, with Gigi Buffon and Fabio Cannavaro barking out orders from the back. Italy hit the post twice this game. They finally broke through in the 119th minute, deep into the German night. A broken play off a corner kick. Andrea Pirlo eased a pass through to Fabio Grosso, who curled in the winner. Alessandro Del Piero added a second 2 minutes later to break German hearts. And the other semi was well played too, but France triumphed after Zidane netted a penalty goal in the 33rd minute. So the final was set. 3-time champs Italy against the 1998 champions France. Certainly an all-timer in terms of memorability and prominence. France had recently defeated Italy in penalties at the 1998 World Cup, also in the Euro 2000 final with a golden goal by David Trezeguet. So countless legends on both teams. You've got Zidane, Buffon, Henry, Totti, Thuram, Cannavaro, just to name a few. The game got started quickly with France earning a penalty in the 7th minute. Zizou put it away with a cheeky Panenka. But Italy hastily answered back in the 19th minute, Materazzi rising up and finishing a header off a corner kick. There were a couple other close chances, but the game went to extra time, and that's when maybe the most memorable moment in the history of the World Cup happened. The 110th minute, Zidane and Materazzi were jogging beside each other. There was jersey tugging, and Materazzi said something to the Frenchman, later proved to be insults to Zidane's sister. And that provoked Zidane to famously headbutt Materazzi, immediately knocking him to the ground. The referee stopped play, and Zidane was given his 14th career red card, thrown out of the game. The game ended up going to penalties, just the second World Cup final ever to be decided with a shootout after 1994. And Italy wins it 5-3 in the shootout after Trezeguet hit the crossbar on his shot. Grosso with the game winner, and Italy narrowly becoming world champions for the 4th time. Only Brazil with more titles. And a quick look at the awards in 2006. The Golden Boot, a man who in 2014 became the World Cup all-time leading goal scorer. My favorite player, Miroslav Klose, with 5 goals. Golden Ball, Zidane's flair in both scoring and providing landed him the Best Player of the Tournament award. Best Young Player then, German forward Lukas Podolski, and the Best Goalkeeper, Gigi Buffon. So what will I remember most from the 2006 World Cup? I think above everything else, the biggest takeaway from this event is obviously Zinedine Zidane's headbutt on Materazzi in the final, him getting that red card and getting thrown out. It's one of the biggest moments in World Cup history. for a player of Zizou's caliber, in my opinion, a top 10 player of all time. That was the final game he ever played in his career, the last time he was ever on a football pitch as a player. So just incredible that it ended like that. I'm also going to remember all the yellow and red cards doled out at these matches. Fabio Cannavaro and the Stonewall Italian defense. How about Ukraine's incredible run to the quarterfinals? And then I think just all the stars on display. I mean, these are some players who I was really introduced to football through. Players like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Beckham. I'm thankful I got to watch them, and it was really a great World Cup. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more soccer content. Be on the lookout for my other World Cup rewinds as well. Leave a comment. Let me know if I missed anything. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back soon. Cheers.